I will certainly be having fun with all these fantastic solutions that we will be seeing here very shortly. Just to introduce myself, I'm, as Nora mentioned, I'm Ieva Žilionienė from Lithuania, and I guess I could say I know something about the topic that we are having here today because I've spent about 20 years of my professional life working with digital innovations in public sector, leading the agency in Lithuania responsible for financing and developing ICT solutions for public sector, as well being a deputy director of Lithuania's e-communications regulator, and as well giving lectures to the students in the universities about knowledge society and all these different good and not so good things that technologies can bring to our lives. And now I'm working in an international company, another company group, leading consulting branch of the company, and sharing the knowledge on how to best digitalize public sector and giving that knowledge to different countries in different parts of the world, which is an amazing opportunity to give that know-how and to spread it. And WSA is very dear to my heart. I'm part of the family for 10 years now, and I'm very proud of that because it's a real source of inspiration and sharing knowledge that you people who are part of that know very well. So we had already 2 great days of WSA Global Congress, and it's a pleasure to open the day 3 with this topic, government and citizen engagement, which is the area that touches on all of our lives. And the 5 winners that we will see today, yes, we are already the winners of WSA 2021. But after the pitches, as Peter mentioned before, we will select one global champion of the category based on the product, on the impact, and on the pitch that we will hear right away. So before jumping to the pitches, as you know, all the people who will be doing that, you will have 3 minutes for your pitch after you are set up and ready to go. And after that, we will have questions and answers short session for every pitching solution, so that our esteemed experts of WSA from different countries could ask relevant questions to the winning teams. So that's it. Don't lose more time, because we know why the people gathered here to see the 5 winners of WSA for government and citizen engagement. And it's my pleasure, of course, to introduce the first team, my parliament, or ManoSeimas, from Lithuania. And it's really easy for me to pronounce the name of the person who will be presenting, because it's the same as mine. So, Ieva, the floor is yours. Please.
Thank you. Thank you, Ieva, and hello, everyone. I would like to introduce you to a user-friendly online tool, ManoSeimas. In English, it means My Parliament, dedicated to making country's political scene more transparent. Knowing that half of Lithuania's population believes decision-making to be opaque and the government to be influenced by large interest groups, we wanted to bring more light, more clarity and transparency into decision-making. For us, it meant that we first had to prompt politicians to be more transparent. So that's exactly what we did through emails, meetings, and other means. And the message was simple. A good politician is an active and transparent politician. The first step towards transparency is to at least publish your work agendas. And it worked. When we started, only 4 out of 10 parliamentarians had their work agendas publicly available. Now, everyone has it. Plus, it's in the law. Since then, ManoSeimas has grown into this content-rich platform with thousands of primary data about parliamentarians' work. Now you can find about 70,000 records of MPs' meetings. You can search how parliamentary committees discussed about 900 legal acts. In addition, you can look up who got long-term permits to enter the parliament on a regular basis. the information that, to my knowledge, has only been published in New Zealand before. The platform itself is open sourced, thus can be easily replicated, and it is also aligned with SDG 16.6, aimed at developing efficient and transparent institutions. However, ManoSeimas is not just that. It has also become an interactive public advocacy tool for us. We started communicating more with the Chancellery of Seimas, that itself decided to publish more data in open data format regarding parliamentarians' work that we also now integrated into the platform. In other words, ManoSeimas has become this super tool allowing us to measure how well Lithuania is doing achieving more transparency in decision-making year by year. In fact, just a couple of days ago, the parliament itself posted the newest update from ManoSeimas on the Facebook wall saying that, well, this year's parliamentarians, before making decisions, are meeting more interest groups than the previous parliaments. But, however, there is still room for improvement. And yet it exactly matches our plans for further developing the tool. Thank you.
Thank you, Ieva, very much. You've been very efficient and fit to your time. Thank you for that. And thank you and congratulations on the project that you implemented, and you are already the winner. Congratulations on that. But now we will have some time for the questions from the jury. So I see that Damien has a question. Damien, please go ahead.
Yes, the microphone. Thank you very much. Sorry about the technical glitch. Well done on a very impressive, not only pitch, but also solution for transparency. So thank you very much as well. My question is, you were very clear in explaining us how many members of parliaments were using the platform. Can you give us an estimate or an idea of how many inhabitants of Lithuania are using the platform?
Since the launch, approximately 140,000 Lithuania's population used it. So it's approximately 6-7% of Lithuania's adult population.
Thank you for that. Waiting for other questions from other jurors, and meanwhile I have a question myself. As we know, the Civitech, or all these things that we have regarding better involvement of people into democracy process, into governance process, is a very interesting topic and not an easy one. I guess many countries face the same problem. So do you have some concrete plans of maybe cooperation with other countries and helping them to establish something like that?
Thank you, Ieva, for the question. Indeed, we are working on very similar platforms together with our colleagues from other chapters from Transparency International. I think we are mostly focused on the region itself. So, for example, we are talking a lot with colleagues from Latvia and Estonia because they are planning to introduce the law on lobbying activities, and they are trying to understand how to actually pitch it to the parliamentarians, how to understand it, that it is a good thing. Because for those that, for example, are not very familiar with our region, one of the issues that we had to tackle through the years is to explain that lobbying is a good thing and that it is good to meet with various businesses, NGOs, other representative groups, because our politicians were a bit reluctant and, well, they were saying, okay, maybe we're doing something wrong if we are actually meeting lobbyists. We said, no, it's good if you publish it, if you say who are you meeting. So now we're kind of working quite a lot with our colleagues from Latvia, Estonia, who are dealing with similar issues.
Okay, thank you for that. And we still have time for one more question. Margus, please go ahead.
Hello, good morning. Greetings from sunny Tallinn, Estonia. First of all, congratulations. It is always good to see if policy making has been made more transparent and so on. So chapeau, it's a well done project. Especially I can only imagine how difficult it has been to implement in practice on politicians such a tool. I have a question which runs from the aspect that you mentioned that the application itself also caters the requirement from the law for the parliamentarians to publish their daily agendas. And just from the practical implementation aspect, it's because I'm usually more interested in those projects that technically project can be whatever, but usually the challenge are in the change management and the implementation, which you have done tremendously good job on. But I was wondering, was there law in place before or because of the application actually? Like was the application the driver to update the law and the change itself?
So the collection of data and the application started before the law was implemented. This is what actually helped us prove that we need politicians to have those publicly available agendas, because when we started, we had nothing. We did not understand what our parliamentarians do. So it actually helped us to advocate for it.
Excellent.
Thank you, Ieva, for that. Our time with you is up, and thank you very much, and congratulations once again for the interesting product, and good luck in the future developments of this one. And
thank you.
See you. So now we are moving to the next winner of WSA in this category this year. It will be Irma from Netherlands, a digital wallet for your privacy data on your phone. And I invite Ineke and Mike to present it.
Hi, everyone, members of the jury and everyone watching on AirMeet. My name is Ineke, and together with Mike, we would like to thank you for this opportunity to share with you the Irma app. It's an app that enables government and citizen engagement and is the result of a successful collaboration between these 4 organizations. So Irma is a digital wallet with your personal data. With Irma, you can log in or prove who you are without sharing more data than necessary. And nobody's watching, not even Irma. Why Irma? In today's digital world, more and more people are experiencing the consequences of data breaches. And with Irma, people regain control over their personal data. Irma was designed and developed for and with citizens from day one. We did multiple iterations to learn and improve. And with each iteration, we invited citizens to try out Irma with their personal data in a setting as familiar as possible.
Mike, we can hear you.
Excuse me. So for the product, Irma uses complex technology and cryptographic encryption. All this complex technology is simplified and hidden behind an attractive card-based user interface. And this technology is required to ensure secure authentication that cannot be traced. There are many wallets in the Netherlands, but Irma is the only wallet that is open source, secure, and based on a decentralized paradigm and developed in co-creation with citizens. The core content consists of your personal data that you get from authorities. Your data, for example, your social security number, your date of birth, or 1 or more email addresses, they're all stored on your device and your device only. Irma inspires citizens to participate in a digital society. And it also gives organizations they value on online privacy and security. With regard to impact, Irma protects and upholds human rights on the internet to prevent your personal data being shared with third parties without consent. The app doesn't lock usage, it's privacy by design. This minimizes the risk of data breaches and user profiling and increases trust in online services. And it contributes to the SDGs regarding online participation, secure data, and collaboration for privacy. Moreover, Irma already meets the design constraints the EU demands for a national digital wallet. Summarizing, there's only one Irma.
Sorry, Mike, just finish your question and we have.
Okay. Yeah, we developed Irma in collaboration with many organizations involving more than 100 Dutch citizens, and the number of downloads increases every day. So scan the QR code, join these people, and get control over your personal data with Irma.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Ineke, so much for the presentation of your winning solution. And now we have time for some questions from the jury panel. My fellow jurors, do we have some questions we'd like to clarify? Okay, still we are waiting for more questions. I'll pose one from my side. So you developed a very good product, very practical product. But as for any innovation, there are usually some challenges. What is the challenge that you as a team are facing today? What is the biggest challenge that you are facing that you have to overcome?
Yeah, today we face the challenge that in the Netherlands there is no law this moment to introduce apps like Irma to allow users to authenticate themselves in government and in commercial products. But we try to convince all our city to do experience with Irma to introduce this app before the laws are already effective.
I see, thank you. Monica, please pose your question.
Yes, thank you. My question is on your experience with regards to personal data. Do you have a standard definition of the kind of personal data that users need to disclose, or is it a very generalized personal identifying information? What are some of those attributes and challenges around that?
Actually, people can add multiple attributes, multiple data of themselves in their wallet. So it's free. You can, for example, you can add every attribute to your organization as long as it's been issued by some organization. So it can be personal data like your name and your date of birth and your social security number, but can also be an email address or a bank account or some health data. It's all possible with Irma.
Thank you for that. And Margus, we have a question from you too.
Yes, again me. Thank you very much. I really admire this solution, especially I managed to build it as a FOSS product, as I understand, which is admirable and really great achievement. I would like to ask a quick question about the feature which is described here is the signing documents digitally. Do you also support qualified electronic signatures, or how the signing process in the context of ADAS framework would work? And do you also see that the Irma will be used as a digital wallet in the context of 2B European-wide digital wallets solution in Netherlands, at least?
Yeah, thank you for your question. Your first question, Irma, with Irma, it's possible to sign documents, but at this moment it's not developed the way that you describe, but it's under development now. And what I said in the presentation, Irma already meets the design constraints, so Irma can be used for the European digital identity, but it will be it needs to be extended to with issuers from other countries as well. But that's part of the project that we're in now, because today we have multiple digital identities in the Netherlands, and Irma is one of them. So Irma can be one of the solutions that can be used for other countries as well.
Thank you, Mike, a lot for these explanations. And Ineke and Mike, thank you very much for developing a solution that we can be proud about and what we can show here in World Summit Awards. So this is Irma from Netherlands. Best of luck in your future plans.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now let's come back to Europe, to the Portugal, and to urban platform. It's a single integrated system capable of collecting information from various sources and displaying it in an intuitive and customizable dashboard. But I'm sure that much more can be said by the developers of the platform. So, Ricardo, please, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. Can you see my screen already? Yes, I see that you can. Okay. Yes, my name is Ricardo. I'm here to present UbiWare's perspective and solution to help cities and communities become sustainable. And this is how we see them, without traffic, with people walking and cycling around nature-based solutions, enjoying their quality of life. But how can regions and decision makers achieve sustainability, meet the sustainable development goals when they are constantly changing? We have human and economic flows, we have infrastructure that's changing, new services that are being developed but work as silos and do not cooperate or share information, which is blocking the growth and sustainability of these regions. But we have the solution for that. Our product, called the Urban Platform, breaks those silos and helps municipalities, service providers, and government authorities with the real-time information from the street level up to their screen, collecting information from sensors, satellites, information systems, databases, and existing tools, thanks to interoperability, open standards, and open interfaces. It enables the data analysis and correlation of information with the local context, so to help making more efficient decision-making. We then apply AI tools for pattern detection, forecasting, and simulation scenarios of different domains, which cover mobility, like traffic flow, parking occupancy, urbanization, like buildings and natural parks, but also the environment for waste, air quality, and weather conditions, but also the local community and their feedback. So we join the decision makers with the citizens community who live and work in the region through digital tools that improve the public services for them. We can help with mobile applications, digital surveys, and open data portals to collect their feedback on reporting problems and help the governments to respond more efficiently and improve the transparency and accountability, but always with the consent of data sharing and protecting the privacy of the subjects. Last but not least, we can help decision makers to assess how their region is evolving towards the Sustainable Development Goals. Thanks to standard indicators from the International Standards Organization, ISO, our communities can now track progress on their environmental impact and energy efficiency a long time, but also compare with others, regardless of their dimension, economic power, or geography. We are helping cities and communities to target 7 of the Sustainable Development Goals, but we are focusing mostly on SDG 11 for sustainable cities and communities. We are targeting urbanization, protection of cultural and natural heritage, the environmental impact of new mobility solutions and new infrastructure, and other decisions to fight climate change. All of this is being developed in Portugal, concretely in Aveiro, in a Portuguese SME that was founded in 2007 in 2 main areas of strategy, telecom and smart cities. We have around 100 people now, and we are focusing a lot on research and innovation to develop software solutions from idea to product. This allowed us to create an worldwide footprint of more than 60 cities using our tools. One of them, Guimarães in Portugal, is a user of the Urban Platform, has been considered the best practice by the European Commission on location interoperability solutions for e-government. But we cannot do this all on our own. We all are only possible to do this thanks to our strong network of partners, and we hope WSA to join us and help us go from 60 cities to 600 and more. Ricardo, so thank you so much for your time.
Time is up. Thank you, almost there. Yes, thank you very much, Ricardo, for that introduction of your amazing product that shows how these technologies and can be directly applied to better implementation of SDGs. You mentioned, but I would like to ask the first question from the jury panel. So in how many cities and what's, let's say, are 3 the biggest cities that you are already at?
Okay, I have a slide that represents that. I don't know if you can still see it, but we have coverage not only in Portugal, but also in the world. So we are helping cities like Aveiro, Évora, Guimarães, and Porto in Portugal, which are medium to large size cities, but also we can develop for Barcelona, which is a large city that we shared the demo for the solution, but also the region of Granada, which covers a lot of municipalities around that region. We have developed for Helsinki, Portland in the United States, but also in other municipalities through research and innovation projects like Antwerp and Copenhagen. So we can always cover Nordic Europe, the Iberian region, and in fact also make it available for larger cities, both in Europe and the US, but we look for other markets. And we are not only focusing on cities, we want to cover regions and communities that are more rural and that can leverage this solution to become more digital and make better decisions.
Thank you for that. I'm waiting for my fellow jurors to join with their questions as well. Margus, please go ahead.
Hi, good morning. Greetings from northeast of Europe. Just a quick question regarding this, that I've first of all, collecting this type of data and empowering decision making with real-time information and so on is a huge challenge, and I'm so happy to see that you have been tackling this and that there is something practical which is on the field and already in practice. I've had experience in Southeast Asia. Visited one of the great cities in the region, and he had a huge wall of different dashboards and which provided information from different angles. Everything was measured and was really great. Though I would like to learn that, have you already managed to see that some political decisions now have been actually made which are relying on this data, and have the governance level of cities actually utilized in order to make the practical on the field change on that? Or this at the moment it has been creating awareness of the problems rather than having on the ground decisions made?
So that's a very good question, Marcus, and thank you for raising it. Indeed, there's both perspectives. So on the one hand, we saw cities that become aware of the energy consumption of their buildings and understood that they were consuming energy that on times that didn't make sense. Just by creating this information made available in a dashboard, we saw that they can experiment and trial new mobility solutions and experiment the impact of car-free zones on weekends and specific days of the year to assess the environmental impact. So it's not only creating awareness, but actually seeing these improvements on different levels, from mobility to energy efficiency, but also to environmental impact. But indeed, putting the data up front helps them understand where the major consumptions are, where are the major challenges to be solved, so they can then create concrete policies and actions to solve them.
Ricardo, thank you very much for that answers and for sharing your great product with us. And I'm sure there are quite a lot of things waiting ahead and lots of work to do. But you already are the winner here this year, and congratulations on that. And thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.
And now we are moving to our another winner from already another region. Let's meet Follow the Money from Nigeria. And this product will be presented by Busayo. Please, the floor is yours.
So Follow the Money is a citizens-led movement that seeks to answer the question of where money is coming from, where money is going to, what that money is going to be used to do. Now, Africa has a large population, a growing population, with young people, taking the major stakes of this movement across currently 9 African countries, including Nigeria, making it 10. Next slide, please. We seek to empower marginalized communities to track, to monitor government funds in their countries, in their states, in their local government, and international aid spending. Next slide, please. For direct impact, we've impacted over 4 million lives, and we've been able to track over 507 million USD, United States dollars. And for us, this is major because we've been able to save funds for the country, and we've been able to ensure that government money works for the people. The next slide, please. The reason why we follow the money is not far-fetched from the fact that we know that we have a corruption problem in Africa. We have a transparency issue in Africa. We have an accountability deficit in Africa. We also have a poor citizens engagement, and this is chiefly because of the amount of times that these countries have experienced military regimes. So it's very difficult for them to open up. I mean, just given the context of the country we find ourselves. Then public records are quite inaccessible. The next slide, please. What we've been able to do is to ensure that we bridge the gap between citizens and government, and ensure that government at all times, needs to speak with citizens for us to be able to make the kind of progress we want to make. So we've been able to do social mobilization. We've been able to decentralize the thinking around government and governance. We've been able to bring forward transparency and accountability conversations to broaden impact across subnational governments. And Nigeria is a fairly big country, and definitely Africa is a fairly big continent. Next slide, please. Now, for us, the follow the money process is very integral because it's data driven. From the first point where people have to mine data to see aids that are coming to their community, to the next stage of ground truthing, where they try to compare what is on paper with what is on ground through community engagement, with offline and online advocacy. But for us, the greatest result is the government and citizens feedback, when government and citizens can speak face to face. Please, can we go to the next slide? Now, we've been able to use various tools to drive this movement. We've been able to use technology tools. We've used social and traditional media. We use community resources, which is very, very important. And much more than that for us is the ability to use M&E tools and the freedom of information law, that gives us access. We've been able to bridge technology and radio together. Now, technology is still growing in Africa. The consciousness is still growing in Africa. So it's a little difficult for us to just stick to our platform alone. So we've been able to use the radio through various follow the money radios as a means to engage community members to mobilize them. Next slide. Please, can we go to the next slide because of time?
Yes, I'm sorry the time is up, but I hope that you will be able to give us additional information while answering our questions. And I invite now the jury members to pose their questions to follow the money to Busayo. First of all, of course, thank you a lot for presenting to us the winning solution. And Damien, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, Busayo, and thank you for your pitch. My question is, could you elaborate more onto the end user experience? So I'm a citizen in a country. What do I see? What do I see? What can I do?
Okay, yeah. So one of the first things we try to do is to make citizens understand the budget cycle, because for us, the budget cycle is important, to be able to track these funds. When citizens understand the budget cycle, then citizens are able to create what we call campaigns. Now, when citizens create campaigns, it means that they are tracking government funds in their locality, around them, what the government is using those funds to do. Now, so for us, what is very, very important is giving citizens the requisite tools, for them to be able to hold their government to account, and that's the experience. So we created what we call I Follow the Money. It's www.ifollowthemoney.org. What it does is to aggregate all of this information together, so that citizens can see examples of people that have used the method, to hold their government to account, to ensure that basic healthcare is fixed, to ensure that basic education is fixed, but much more than that, to be able to drive the conversation between community members and their representatives at various levels of government. That's the entire user experience.
Thank you very much for that answer. And I have one question from my side as well. I'm sure that throughout the existence of a project, or initiative, maybe it's the more correct word, you followed quite a lot of different projects. What would be an example of one project that you are most proud of, that you really feel that you did a real change here?
Yeah, great. So in the north central of Nigeria, we had a project where we were tracking the establishment of a primary school because of the lack of access, to schooling in that community. One of the things we did that was remarkable was the fact that we mobilized the citizens, we mobilized the community members, to have the first time face-to-face interaction with the duty bearers who were responsible to constructing that school. Now, this is what happened with the school. The contractor got the contract. He was doing a substandard job. And for the first time in Nigeria, we saw a situation where community came out to say, this is not what the budget for this project says. The budget for this project is the construction of a brand new school, not a rehabilitation or a renovation. And we saw that government took initiative to ensure that they went back to the exact details on the budget, and today children can attend schools in that community. And I'm talking about nothing less than 500 children who had never been to school before.
Thank you for sharing that. The stories that you tell are really inspiring, and congratulations on being one of the winners of WSA in Government and Citizen Engagement category, and the best of luck in your future work.
Thank you.
And so last but of course not least, from the solutions that we will be seeing here today in Government and Citizen Engagement category is Tasmu from Qatar. So Omar, please present this government platform.
Thank you. So we should be playing a video first, and then my colleague Mariam will speak for the first couple of slides, and then I follow her in the next couple of slides.
Maybe just since we did not rehearse with you before, just as an information and transparency for the audience on AirMeet as well, will you after the video also use slides?
Yes.
Then I think it would make sense that you first share your slides and have them ready.
Sure.
And when you have the slides ready on full screen and you say go, then the technicians can play the video and will then show your slides afterwards. Okay, that's perfect. So whenever you are ready, the tech team has your video and then you say go.
Go. Thank you.
Tasmu platform, the beating heart of Qatar's digital vision. Designed to spark a wave of innovation, it will turn our country into a global digital leader. Every resident and citizen will have the full power of a smart country in the palm of their hand. The journey starts today, and the possibilities are endless. Tasmu platform, building a smart Qatar.
Building a smart Qatar. That's our Tasmu vision. We are a human-centric program using technology and innovation to enrich the lives of people in Qatar. And Tasmu platform is at the heart of delivering this vision. We have a roadmap with more than 100 smart solutions, and Tasmu platform is going to accelerate this digital transformation. It's breaking the silos between government entities and building the right data ecosystem that is fully governed and secured with advanced AI and ML capabilities. At the launch, we had National Food Security Analytics, which helps us diversify the imports and ensure that we have a secure food supply, a lesson that we learned in 2017 through the blockade. We also launched virtual consultation, which sustained medical services to the public during the pandemic. We are currently piloting smart parking, air quality, and crowd management, and there are many more that will be launched in the remainder of the year. The platform is enabling our data and API economy in collaboration with innovators and entrepreneurs.
In November, Qatar is going to host the FIFA World Cup, and we are privileged to have low proximity between stadiums. This means that the fans can attend 2 to 3 games in a day, but it also means that we have a crowd management challenge. So we developed the digital twin capability and onboarded all the transport stakeholders like the airport, the road infrastructure, the public transport, and the Ministry of Interior, so that we're able to predict the crowd before, during, and after the games. This way, we can plan for a seamless transport and ensure a successful fan experience. Ladies and gentlemen, my colleague and I are very excited to be here, and we are proudly leading this national platform to realize its full potential. We have partnered with leading technology providers, and we have an amazing team spread over 17 countries. And together we are building a smart Qatar. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this presentation. You were right on time, and thank you for that. And now I'm waiting for the questions from our fellow jurors. And meanwhile, while we are thinking about what was, Margus here already has a question. So Margus, please, you are the first.
Assalamu alaikum. Greetings from Tallinn. First of all, what a wonderful platform you have built. I'm pretty sure that the interoperability of this platform will enable you to build many wonderful solutions which will empower Qataris for many years to come. I have a question that how many, do you already know that how many end user services are built by utilizing the platform itself, so that me as a Qatari could go to either some sort of a front-end application and actually see the actual services, and what's the, for example, virtual consultations take up among Qatari population? Thank you.
Thank you, Morgus, and alaikum assalam. I mean, Fabian. So we have launched the virtual consultation, and as of last year, we have had 52,000 video consultations. And we are now, as a platform, developing a direct channel, a G2C app for the end users, and hopefully we will be applying with that to WSA as well.
Oh, that's great to hear that you have further plans and to not just to build your platform further, which is understandable, but as well to apply here. You know, that building platforms is something that governments do usually, all around the globe. It's understandable. It helps to do the things much more efficient and better, way more productive, etc. But specifically for your team and where you are now, what is the biggest challenge that you are facing now and you have to overcome, you know, just to move forward? Sorry, I can't hear you.
Yes, I wanted to give a chance to Mariam, but maybe because she's traveling, she's not able to.
I think I have some technical issues. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. You know, one of the challenges that we faced was that we built this platform right at the beginning of the pandemic. But alhamdulillah, it was actually a blessing in disguise. And we were able to deliver this platform in 1 year. All throughout COVID, imagine. And we had people who are from 17 different countries, more than 200 employees working from all around the world. And we built this platform and successfully launched it last year. Now, another challenge that we're facing is how to break all of those silos. But thank God, that was another thing that we overcame. And with the crowd management solution, we were able to break all of those silos between all of those different entities, and many more examples that are coming ahead, that all the government entities are now embracing the Tasmu platform.
Thank you very much for that, and congratulations on developing this ambitious project, which is not easy. I know from my experience in my country, but it's very, very important way ahead. And best of luck in developing it further, because it's non-stoppable thing that you must do to keep on track and to make the services and the government itself more and more available to the people. Thank you so much.